These are the P2P exercises for pronation distortion or rotational issues. So anything associated with the spiral line or the functional lines can be sort of integrated here as well. So the first part of this is to make sure that the knee is tracking properly relative to Achilles. So this is a great Achilles tendon/soleus stretch. Typical range of motion is 4 to 6 inches beyond the toe for this. So the key ingredients to success here is thinking about having the middle of your knee track down through the second and third toe. So what you're aiming to do is put that pole directly in front of the second and third toe at whatever distance is possible. So from this position, my hips square up. So this is not correct because the knee tends to fall. Square the hips forward, bring the ribs towards the pelvis, and then gently glide your middle of your knee towards the pole, making sure the glute activates in the back, that you're not arching your back like so, or that the ribs aren't opening. So ribs to pelvis, hips squared to the front, second knee, middle of the knee tracking right over the second toe, so the pole, you go directly at it. So this is just as Achilles. As people increase the range of motion and improve their flexibility, keeping this back foot absolutely flat on the ground. You can see I've now moved beyond my range of motion, but I can feel a great stretch down the bottom of my calf, soleus and Achilles. So that you can do on both sides and very specific to whichever side the pronation is occurring on in terms of the foot. That's step one. Step two, another muscle that goes weak is your VMO, or your vastus medialis obtrusus, okay? So what we use is a small ball. This is a little bit larger, but it shows up better visually. So you put this ball behind your knee, you get your foot relatively close to the wall. The other foot's off the wall, but again, this works from posture down. So we head's on the wall, chin is tucked, shoulders are down, ribs towards the pelvis. And then from that position, what we're trying to do, because as I adjust my head and my shoulders and my back, my knee tends to come off the wall. So now at the end of this term, I'm going to use my knee and I'm going to extend, unbend my knee into the wall and the ball, and I should feel strong firing just to the medial side of my kneecap and above it. And I can totally feel this right now. But what you have to monitor is people's postural changes. So the posture is locked, terminal knee extension, make sure the foot's pointing straight ahead, make sure there's no arching in the back. That's step two. So that's called wall TKE, okay? Loaded triangle. So I've got a band attached to a mounted position. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that band. So I'm going to triangle off my left foot. So left foot turns all the way out. Right foot turns in on about a 45-degree angle. I'm going to loop this on my wrist so I don't have to hold on to it as much. I'm going to kick weight back. I'm going to rotate my bottom hip forward. I'm going to sink down, and then the arm comes up. So the arm's up, stays vertical, and this requires me to keep pulling back, because if I lose control, the arm's going to fall forward. So I'm pulling back, my shoulder's depressed, my legs are straight, I slide down, and I come up. And with this rotational torque, takes the rotation off my back shoulder down to my opposite hamstring, which is very specific to the spiral line. So it's a great rotational exercise. Good. On top of that, in a similar vein, we're going to do what's called a pull-off press. So more for the functional line. So in a kneeling position, again, a band is attached to its fixed point. Step one is pull the band into the front of the body. Step two, the same position we have with the kneeling dowling rod exercise. Set the shoulders down, bring the head back, because this is oftentimes the head will get away from you. From this position, keep the abs tight. Press it in front of you to make it more challenging. We do two things. Rotate first, then press, which links that back shoulder to that opposite glute, or to bring in the frontal line more here, and then we start lifting up overhead. As you can see, it wants to bend me sideways, so there's both rotational and lateral flexion control required. So both of those make it more difficult. Then to really bring the rotational drive pattern, opposite hand to the leg that's forward, set the shoulders, square the hips up, and then I'm going to push. So I pull with this hand, and I push with this hand, and I drive it across my body, and this creates that link of that back shoulder to that glute. So set, hand on the shoulder, pull, push. You notice I'm driving my arm straight over top of my other thigh, and this hand reaches back in a nice strong position. That really creates a strong connection between my obliques, my backside oblique system, and into the opposite glute. Those are your corrective exercises for the rotation and pronation distortion related syndromes.